Big Sales National Football Show. We just got it confirmed. Phil Simms will join us at 4:30 Eastern Time, and we will talk to the NFL on CBS and the desk analyst and get his thought. Former two-time Super Bowl champion Phil Simms will join us at 4:30 Eastern Time. So we'll talk to Phil and get his thoughts there on Jalen Hurts, the Eagles, the 49ers, NFL stuff. It is always great to catch up with Phil Simms. So we will talk with him. We'll talk about that Jets team. You know, Phil's around that Jets team a lot too. And that's the next opponent for the Eagles. So Phil Simms will join us at the bottom of the hour here. So we're looking forward to that. Thank you very much, Phil. I think the Jets will pose some issues for the Eagles. I think patience will have to be at a premium here a little bit because you may get some 3-and-outs because of Sauce Gardner and the way that they get after people. Quentin Williams is a heck of a football player. They got good players on defense, but they're not going to be able to withstand the roster. And what I mean by that is that, you know, the Eagles just across the board, there's only one team in the NFL that I think per 53 has a better roster than them, and that is San Francisco. But that doesn't mean that that better roster will beat the Eagles on December 3rd. I'm not saying that. I'm saying right now your defense is still coming along. The 49ers are completely intact. They're playing championship football like you did a year ago. Okay? You're not. You've had one game in offense. That's not being back. Consistency. The difference between the 49ers right now and the Eagles is completely just being consistent on a week-to-week basis. That's it. Okay? That's totally it. That's it. Now, what do I think the Eagle defense is going to continue to get better? Yes. Barring injuries. Barring injuries. How about this? Would we not agree with this about the Cowboys? Have the Cowboys gotten worse since those fraudulent, like, fool's gold games against both New York teams in the first? Those two games at the beginning of the year for the Cowboys may have actually been the worst things to happen for Dallas. Okay? I mean, the 49ers have a better defense at every level. Are you better in the D-line than them across the board? No. Are you better than them linebacking? No. Are you better than them in the secondary? By the way, I think Darius Slay is exactly what I thought he was. JM, you're better where? On defense? Your ends aren't playing great. Reddick has had one game. As a unit across the board, I think the 49ers are second in defense and second in offense. Good. Phil Simms is good to go. Fantastic. 4:30. Well, that's Phil. San Francisco has a horrible secondary, and yet you guys give up 300 yards a game. Okay. Sure. And yours isn't? Are you trying to tell me you got a great secondary and pass defense right now? Last week was the best week they've had. You've played a month in a game. Let's go top 10. I want to get out of that conversation because it's an idiotic conversation to suggest that you have a better defense than the 49ers. You do not. Okay? Who are your all-pros again? I missed them. Do you have one? Probably the kid Carter. Do you have one? They've got 4. and the reigning Defensive Player of the Year. All right. Here are my top 10 NFL teams. They played scrub offenses, and you played non-winning teams. You haven't played a team with a winning record yet. Here are, by the way, I cannot put the Cowboys in the top 10. I refuse to put the Dallas Cowboys in the top 10. That is not happening. I am not putting a team in the top 10 that gets killed like that. I am not. Number 10. Now, again, how I look at teams, I look at your collective group of the Bucs have a winning record. You're right. So do the Cowboys. As a collective six, and how well you're playing right now. Okay? I got the Ravens at 10. I know, Steelers beat them. They're 3-2 on the year. They've had some shitty losses here. I still think the Ravens roster is a good roster. And I've got them at 10. Number 9. I've got the Chargers here. I think the Chargers are going to beat the Dallas Cowboys. Okay? I think they're going to beat the Dallas Cowboys. Number 8. I got the Buffalo Bills at number 8. At number 7. I got the Jaguars at number 7. At number 6, I have the Seattle Seahawks. So 10 through 6. Ravens, that's a good one. Warrior, you might want to replace the Ravens with the Browns down there. Would you replace that? Would you put the Browns down there at 10? Instead of the Ravens? They do have the top defense in the NFL. I'm going to stick there with the Ravens. Ravens at 10. Chargers 9. Bills 8. Jags 7, Seahawks 6. Here are my top 5 NFL teams. I got the Lions at 5. I think they're playing really good football. I really do. I think they're playing really good football, and I think Dan Campbell's the real deal. Number 4. My top 10 NFL teams. I got the Kansas City Chiefs here. Number 3. I got the Miami Dolphins at 3. 2. I have the Eagles. And number 1, the San Francisco 49ers. Here's my top 10 NFL teams. Ravens, 10. Chargers, 9. Bills, 8. Jaguars, 7. Seahawks, 6. Lions, 5. Chiefs, 4. Dolphins, 3. Eagles, 2. 49ers, 1. And the Eagles have been moving up progressively each and every single week. So good for them. Now here are the quarterbacks. I think last week I had Hurts 7. Top 10 NFL quarterbacks for the week as we go into week 6. Number 10, I got Trevor Lawrence, Jaguars, sitting at 10. Number 9, I have Geno Smith, Seahawks. Number 8, Justin Herbert, Chargers. Number 7, Lamar Jackson, Ravens. Number 6, Josh Allen, Buffalo Bills. Number 5, Jalen Hurts, Eagles. Number 4, Jared Goff, Lions. Number 3, Patrick Mahomes, Chiefs. Number 2, Tua Tagovailoa, Dolphins. And number 1, leading pretty much in every single statistic, including 5-0, and never been beat in the regular season, Brock Purdy, 49ers. So here's my top 10 quarterbacks. Trevor Lawrence, Geno Smith, 9. Justin Herbert at 8. Lamar Jackson at 7. Josh Allen, 6. Jalen Hurts, 5. Goff, 4. Mahomes, 3. Tua, 2. Brock Purdy, number 1. Probably of all the quarterbacks on this list that has the most impressive win, it's Jared Goff. In Kansas City, beating the defending champions on banner night. Probably the most impressive of all the quarterbacks that has had the most impressive win so far. Joe Burrow's not a bust. He's just not playing well. I got Stroud at 11. Yeah. Well, he's not. Mahomes is not playing better than Tua. He's not playing better than Brock Purdy. That Kansas City team can't beat that 49er team. Kansas City is not going back to the AFC title game. They're just not. They're not very good. He's not playing his best ball. Lowest completion percentage, okay, in his entire NFL career. Tagovailoa's on pace for 6,000 yards passing. You got a receiver in Miami, it's on pace for 2,000, and they're 4-1. Jalen has played solid football, really good football, this last week. Look, I'm going to say it one more time to you, man. Quarterbacks, I mean, it's got to be the most difficult position to play in the NFL because, look, when I'm a defensive tackle and I'm getting ready to play a game, I've got a book on the guy, say, that I'm playing against, and I'm playing against, say, Mike Munchak or what have you. And I know what Mike does, and I know his strengths and weaknesses, and I know what this guy does, or I know what a center does like Bruce Matthews, and I got what these guys are all doing. I know strength and weaknesses of an individual matchup. When you're a quarterback and you've got to see what defensive coordinators are doing to you in a week-to-week basis. There's no question. These guys are constantly challenged each and every single week with different looks. I'd like to see Dean and Merle in together. I'd like to keep that thing fundamentally secure as well. But Jalen had a really great called game. That's the best we've seen him. Okay? Kirk Cousins is second in yards and number one in TDs, and his team stinks. Winning has to matter, like you guys say. Doesn't it? You got to put winning in it. You got to put winning in it. And that's the one thing, again, that both the 49ers and the Eagles have going for them this year in the NFC. And as I've been telling you guys, the Lions are knocking on the door, not the Cowboys. The Eagles and the 49ers are bullies. They bully you. They can beat you in numerous ways. And they're physical. Do you want to hear a statistic? Here's a statistic. How about this one, Tone, before we get Phil on? You want to hear a statistic that will tell you all you need to know about the San Francisco 49ers? Last year, every single team that played the San Francisco 49ers, the following week, they lost. Think about that. 0-15 from like week 15 on. Week 15 on, every single team that played the 49ers the previous week and had to play another game the next week, all lost. What's that tell you? They beat you up. They beat you up. Dallas is a finesse team, including Micah Parsons. That's finesse, in my opinion. So that December 3rd matchup is going to be outstanding. It was a bad game against the Cowboys with Minshew because of the turnovers. Yeah, Forrest, don't look at that Minshew game last year versus Dallas. The game that's going to matter is going to be in a couple weeks here when Hurts is at full strength and Dak's at full strength. And you're going to find